It turns out that it has been better to have pumped and lost than to have never pumped at all, as is the case for many of these CBDC simp coins. As Bitcoin collapses, we hit levels unexpected, damn near below $55,000, all while we're watching the 4th of July fireworks, celebrating the independence of this country while our bags absolutely bleed to the ground. It was an insane night last night. Went over to TJ, shot off some fireworks, went nuts in the sky with explosions, but the real explosion was happening on the chart to the wrong direction, to the downside. We're going to take a look at all the reasons why Bitcoin has just collapsed. Is this the end? Is this the Max Payne moment you've all been waiting for to stack our bags and get ready for disgusting levels of return? Welcome one, welcome all to the blockchain basement. We are powered by the world's top crypto cold storage, which is Oculus. This little bad boy, actually, I may as well open this thing for you. I gotta open. I got another one that's open. I gotta show you what's inside the box. Pretty damn cool. Shout out to everyone in the chat, all the crypto savages that will not give up. And the reason why I know you're gonna make it is because you're showing up, finding out why, finding the best deals on the market. What was it, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? It's about 8 a.m. in the center of the country, very early over there in California. You guys are focused, you're zoned in, you're in your lane, you're gonna make it. Shout out to y'all. Nicole Minnis. Nicole, I saw the limo truck. Holy shit. Bring a trailer as a limo truck we might need to get. James Slater, or James S. Tyler, Chili Rainbow, Truck Dano, Station C4, Mass Adoption, Wispy, what is up, dude? Crypto in my veins, Bullish on Parade, and Timothy Marios and Crypto Bad Fox, what is up? What is up? And you're right, Crypto Bad Fox hurts, but doesn't, because you're not looking at the portfolio. Well, we're going to check it all out today. There is no ignoring what happened. Let's have a gander, shall we? Let's do a analysis life check. Bitcoin. $55,695, 55.7. This is intense. We have some insane price. What the hell is this? E-gold with a 10% pump amidst the blood and guts of the chaos. Oh my God. Bonk token up 3%. But let's look at the biggest losers. We're going to take a big breath here. Okay, guys. Biggest losers. Let's see what we got. Core, Ordi, Athena, Notcoin, Pendle, and Arbitrum. Arbitrum at 61 cents. OP at $1.33. Oh my God. Litecoin down to $60. You know, Tom Crown shout out. I'm not going to do the Litecoin dip. I'm not going to do it. EOS. I saw someone in the trading competition for the Discover Crypto Crew made 4,500% short on EOS last night. Shout out to you, brother. Printed money on the downside here. Cosmos, Atom, ENS, Flow, Pepe giving up some. So there's some pretty decent guts here. On the week, let's look at the biggest losers on the week. Let's really back this thing up. Lido down 33%, Pendle down 33%. So there is a big butter pull-ups. Look at that. That's a side shot. This is me in my studio here. I'm early on, you know, I get here before everyone else. Owen, I think he wakes up at around noon-ish. So he'll be in here later today. But let's find out why. All the blood, all the guts on the market. What the hell just happened, you guys? Let's just check out the latest news here. And this is a pretty good rundown from Look On Chain. Since June 19th, the German government, the US government, and Mt. Gox have transferred a total of 17,788 Bitcoin, worth $1.8 billion. In particular, the German government has transferred Bitcoin every single day since July 1st. They hold a total of 396,000 Bitcoin currently as a consortium, worth 22 bill. The German government has 41,000 of this. The U.S. government has 213,000 Bitcoin. and Mt. Gox sitting on 141,000 Bitcoin respectively. Now we see this kind of laid out on the chart. We got the German government with their little dumps in the blue, boop, boop, and we got the US government, got to join the party. Lots of selling from the German government going on right now, more so than the US government, and obviously more so than Mt. Gox, but we actually have repayments being scheduled for today. It looks like, let me find this. Yeah, Marty Party bringing this up. To whom it may concern, the Mt. Gox begins repayments July 5th, 2024. That is today, folks. What do we got here? Notice regarding the repayment in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. On July 5th, 2024, the Rehabilitation Trustee made repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash to some of the rehab creditors through a part of the designated cryptocurrency exchanges, etc., in accordance with the rehabilitation plan. Repayments of this plan and the creditors will be promptly made once following conditions have been met: a confirmation of the validity of registered accounts and other matters, acceptance of intention to subscribe to the agency receipt agreement, yada, yada, yada. So basically, if you don't fuck around, you'll find out. You'll get your repayments from the Mt. Gox holdings. But with all of this price action, you guys, this was the biggest liquidation event since the FTX collapse. This is highlighted by Marty. Let's get my face out of the way so we can see this. Look at the level. This blue downside wick is a liquidation event. And this one highlighted here is the FTX collapse. So this is a mass panic moment. This is, you know, one of my most famous stories about how I basically got out of the trenches of being like a low class, middle class person, is basically by buying all of the blood in the March COVID dip of 2020, 2020. You all remember it. Looking at this graph, given me the same vibes here, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Looking at this graph, I am feeling, I know I shouldn't be excited about this. It's a chaos within myself being excited, but I woke up today seeing all of the prices reset on some of my favorite altcoins, and I'm feeling greedy. I'm feeling extremely greedy. I wonder where the fear and greed index is for coin market cap here. Let's see here. I don't know. I might want to use, I'm not logged into FOMO mode. I got to find the fear and greed for Bitcoin, because I'll bet you it has absolutely collapsed. Let's go in here. Oh yeah, look at that. We got a 29 coming in on just the basic overall Bitcoin fear and greed index. We are in, yesterday it was about 44, last week 47, and last month 75, right? And now that we have this big pullback, we're getting much stronger readings of fear in the markets. But where is this pain gonna stop? Where is it gonna end? And when can we start cooking back up to the moon? Let's try to figure this out. Because I mean, the social atmosphere out there is just god awful. Markets have continued to bleed. Social media is now showing historic levels of FUD, and it is rare. It is rare for an hour to go by where there are more mentions of sell than there are of buy across crypto forums, but we've seen a few of these instances in the past 24 hours, including the largest ratio of negative versus positive comments thus far in 2024. For bold traders, this is a window that some may wish to be true and contrarian and buy into the crowd's anger and frustration. This is where the absolute psychos and savages, the winners of the next market, come into play, and they buy up all these guts on the floor. That's my personal opinion, of course. Largest ratio of sell calls versus buy calls for the year. This is a very, very big deal to note. And a lot of people out there, you know, obviously in the chat, not really a big, in the chat, they're not too worried. I know you guys aren't, but the general sentiment is, man, we effed up. We didn't take profits. It's all over. We're dealing with quite a big sell-off situation. You know, and Ryan, it's not over, but you know, I'm going to steal the 10K call for the title here real quick. I'm going to swap the title out to 10K Bitcoin, just 10K Bitcoin incoming. Why not? Because all these people, it's so terrible for me to see, you know, the short-sightedness of the new crypto enthusiast. get shaken out by this, because I know it's just compounding the pain that they're going to experience once they see the market actually return and kind of get its momentum back. But you know what? I'm going to change the title of the stream to 10K Bitcoin incoming. I don't think that's actually the case. Maybe I shouldn't, because that's just like hardcore, what do you call it? Engagement farming. But, we got to bump these numbers up. What up, Laserface down in Rumble? What is up, dude? So Germany's been dumping quite a bit of Bitcoin. This is from Bitcoin News, offloading billions in Bitcoin as their industrial production year over year plunged negative 6.7%. The estimates were to lose 4.3%, and every single nuclear power plant is shut down. Also, something interesting to note is that some of the big NATO worries and all this concern about war and all these things have, when I saw Germany offloading, maybe they're loading up for, just padding out their balance sheet for the coming conflict with Russia. Potentially, it's not that crazy of an idea to have when you really see what's happening in Ukraine. But, they're probably, it's confiscated goods, and, they got to pad out their economies one way or another. So the reason why, I don't stop on this war not slowing down really is because we saw this. We put a post on Instagram about this. This is on Friday. Italian authorities intercepted components from 2 Chinese Winglong 2 UAVs disguised as wind turbines that were headed towards Libya. Quite a decentralized play by China to move systems like that into Libya. You'd think that they'd be, that just makes you wonder what they're already sending into the Ukraine on behest of Russia. Now, the good news in all of this pain, all of this disgusting market pullback that we just experienced, guys, is it bought us some time. It bought us some good time. Here is the Pi cycle top indicator. And just for a glance, the reason why me and Nick really love this thing is because it crosses and gives really good signals when the top is actually in. You can see the top pretty much crossed right on the dot on these past indications. Right here, you can see, well, where did it go? It took it away. Don't go away. Where you at, boo? Where you at? This is on Look Into Bitcoin. Let's go back into it here. Let's see. There you are. What I'm thinking just happened is we just bought ourselves some time. So I'll zoom in on this real quick so you can see. Essentially, it marked the top in a pretty beautiful way when they condensed and came back together during the bull market. I'll move my face out of the way so I can see this. So we're running along. We're pumping on price, and this Pi cycle top, it got closer and closer. Now let's reset this and come back in. I wish I didn't have to completely leave it. But currently where we're at, the concern I had was that this was starting to get a little bit too close for comfort. I didn't like how quickly it was condensing into itself. Let's zoom in on our current situation and look at that downside. We just created some nice room for this to reopen, the Pi cycle top indicator to reopen and give us more time to cook on up to the north side. And that makes me feel much more comfortable. I've been through a few cycles, and I felt my biggest worry was not that views were down or that I wasn't getting to enough people. It was that we were running out of time to stack, right? That was the main problem. So that's what kind of initiated the idea, in essence, along with bettering the life, but starting a business, taking the profits. A general rule of thumb, right? We're in crypto. Honestly, you could be buying an asset for $1 today that's worth $10,000 in 5 years, sure. But when you see a 3x, take some profits. Then when you see it turn into a 5x, take even more profits. Sure, leave some house money on the table so that it can keep running all the way up to the sky if that is what ends up happening. Like if you're the same situation as an ethereum buyer at $10, right? Leave some on the table in case that $10 turns into $3,000 a piece. But when you see the 3x, when you see the 5x, for the love of God, please take profits. It can better your life in the actual. Watching this gigantic collapse yesterday, honestly, I felt pretty damn good because essentially I got a cash producing business with my wife that we just were able to start with the crypto profits. And we're not even to the real juicy part of the bull market yet, you guys. So you got to just continue to be comfortable taking some off the shelf. And really what you want to be playing with on the markets is house money. You want to take the initials out. You want to take that first little pump out and then let the rest ride. Let's see, our laser face longer. That's laser face. Honestly, seeing the pi cycle top indicator open up like this, I'm going to have to adjust that middle of 2025 expectation. And really the reason why I had built up the earlier blow off top for Bitcoin, I'll kind of explain my thought process for this. This upswing right here, I've been talking in spaces about this, but let's go to TradingView actually. Let's go to TradingView. This upswing that we just had, essentially we got the ETFs, we got everything going well for us, and we were able to pump from $27,000 all the way up to 73K. Now, currently where we sit is just a bee's dick above this shelf, essentially. And this is the ETF shelf. This is when a lot of the market basically knew the ETF was coming and they were pricing it in. It got approved and moved us to the stratosphere. Now, the top end of this is essentially at $53,000. We dumped down to $53,400 on this latest pullback. So now, the reason why I thought that the market was going to be shortened was because we are spoiled, folks. We should, by all rights, continue to be ranging in this $40,000 to $45,000 mark. And the reason for that is this. So, and I explained this on Kelly's kind of exclusive Bit Lab stream on Friday. But essentially what we have here is the same time frame of the 2020 halving is right here. You can see. And as you can see, it was very boring. There was a time frame where we essentially just could not break past $10,000 in Bitcoin. Everything was going right. Things were feeling really frothy, but we still could not break that level. And once we did, we chopped a bit and then lost it right down to around just under 10K. And the disappointment was immense right here. The disappointment of this loss of strength was immense across, like I was following Crypto Lark, a bunch of the biggest streamers. And when this level was lost, there was extreme uncertainty. People were like, holy shit, we can't even keep this level up. It's over, folks. And look what happened after that. But by rights, we just had the Bitcoin halving, right? It was April 20th of 2024. The last halving before the last bull market was May of 2020. And we ranged for quite some time in this level. Now, where our current situation is at, and why I'm saying that we're spoiled, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything, but honestly, we should not have been able to pump all the way up here. The only thing that got us all the way up here was the ETF inflows, all of those massive fund managers starting to adopt the conversation about Bitcoin, the value of it. But by rights, it makes a lot of sense to be trapped in this range if history had repeated exactly as it happened in the last bull market. So honestly, I think we're sitting, let's look at the past levels here of where we're at right now. It's actually a pretty damn important spot. Pull this up. So there is quite a bit of volume that happened in this original pump up to moment. Also, it tried to act as a level of support on the secondary pump where we pumped up to around 69K on the second part of the blow off top. And there is quite a bit of action that happened at this level. Now we saw this dump down to, and I've just got to back up and show you guys, that is a bee's dick above this original shelf. So actually I'm expecting this shelf to hold pretty true. That 53 dump down to moment that we had last night may very well have been that COVID dip that everyone was looking for. And now with that, I know Vet was out there stacking. Nick's got some buy orders around like 51, 52. He's set, reasonable. If we keep dumping, he's got automatic buys at 50K, at 51K to take advantage of that pain. That's basically, what you have to do. What I learned to do is lean into the pain and back the truck up when the pain comes to the market, because now we have situations where some of my favorite altcoins have reset in a big way. let's kind of go through them here. The first and foremost thing that I watch is Chainlink. Let's check out Chainlink, sitting at around $12.14 right now. But it dumped all the way down to about $11.16. Holy God. Right here, you can see that original pump 2 shelf is basically at 11 bucks. It's the same type of situation. If you're backed up on the yearly and you're looking at this, the pump 2 moment where it had a little stumble before continuing on up was $11. It fell down to $11 on the recent dip, and we're going to actually see if it can hold it. But is it going to hold it? It really, really is beholden to the Bitcoin price action. And let's see where that Bitcoin floor sits. This is with Matthew Hyland, one of the best in the business. Talking about the weekly super trend floor sitting at $52,000. Now we'll just take a quick zoom in at this. This is the super trend indicator coming in at 51,954. This essentially is probably derived from what I was just showing you on the Bitcoin graph, where that's that original ETF pump 2 moment, right? It's that basically that shelf where we realized the ETF was real. We're able to make it from the mid 40s all the way up to 73. And really that hesitation moment that I showed you guys earlier in the graph, right at around 52.9, that in my opinion is where we're going to basically wish we get back down to as we see this market recenter itself and reset up. Now, the Sony news, Japanese-based company, right? Maybe they're looking to start that exchange with the Mt. Gox buy-ups, maybe, right? But essentially, if we really think that BlackRock is going to get out traded by everyone and lose billions of dollars on something they just opened up to their mainstay investor class, I think we got another thing coming for ourselves. And we did see a very bullish engulfing candle on the 4-hour for Bitcoin. This is from Macro CRG with massive volume. This is a open interest wipeout. Pretty decent criteria for the bottom according to this account. CRG, Macro CRG, and seeing that big volume, but then the engulfing bullish candle on the 4-hour was a very, very good look for Bitcoin to be actually able to hold this level. And by God, my bags depend. Not really. It's honestly, you guys, like at this point, I'm well into house money. But it's because I've been in this market for years, for cycles, and really when you actually have the ability to convict to it and to go down the path and fully commit, things get much, much less painful because then you're in it long enough to take the initials out and to let the house money work for you. We work hard for our money. Why the hell aren't we making our money work hard for us? So, want a free link? What, you got a free link? Jamie Gonzalez, I should know the answer to that, but I really don't. I know it's doable. Maybe you guys can give him some help there. He's looking for a place to short one of the worst projects in the galaxy to ever have seen the light of day. So let's go back to the process here. The main thing I'm watching, Chainlink. Honestly, this is a buy. Everyone's sitting here waiting for the moment to buy. Honestly, this is a buy. So the next I'm looking at ICP, having a much, much harder time. ICP was competing with Chainlink's price not too terribly long ago, lost its pump 2 moment here, and has not reset all the way down to the $354 range. This was right before the real juiciness, but this is a big sell-off. And now for the people that, want to have a larger vision on a Web3 internet, want to have a vision on AI systems needing smart contracts to operate, I think ICP will eventually handle that, but I don't think it's going to be this cycle. This cycle, I think ICP is going to pump on the narrative. So honestly, it's not a bad time for me to be looking at adding some more ICP. Arrow felt like 50 felt good, but Jesus, 46 cents. In line with the rest of the markets, fell all the way down to 40 cents. Holy God, a massive reset. Now we're to the bottom of this sell 2 point. The sell 2 point on the original pump was 38 cents. It's held at 40 cents. So by God, if this thing doesn't hold, base swaps on base, holy shit. That would be a bad news bears, but honest, I believe in base. I believe base is going to have a silver spoon in its mouth still. And really, I'm not afraid of buying this dip. Now, Ondo doesn't seem to be giving up much damn ground here. It's basically at $1.99. Fell down to 92 cents on the big wick out, but it's showing pretty damn good signs of strength amongst all of this blood and chaos. This is the yearly on Ondo, and the baseline like hyper bearish situation, we could be looking at around like a 75 cent dump if this dump does continue. It's very, very important to look at these charts with a greedy mindset, right? It's great if it keeps going up and you already have some, fine. But take the greedy mindset in and be like, I want this thing for 75 cents. Because that's basically where I'm at. We're in a painful moment in the market. And if I do see that chance to take advantage of it and buy Ondo, more Ondo at 75 cents, you're damn right I'm going to do it. Near Protocol, this is another one I think is going to be a wild horse this market, is down to $4.32. Go to the yearly here. Pump 2 moment. I always like to look at these to get a base level. We're at $4.30 on the pump 2 moment, and that's exactly where it's sitting right now on this recent sell-off. My God, all the people complaining about, oh, I missed the boat. I missed the boat. I couldn't do it. This is the chance, guys. This is the moment. This is the COVID mass chaos, mass capitulation moment that we've all sit and wait for. It's horrible that the attention comes to the markets only when things are going to the up and to the right only, because it's not up and to the right only. The volatility is the price we pay for performance. And in essence, if you're not convicted enough, if you're not convinced enough on the project that you're looking in or the overall movement of the world, then you're going to get wrecked. And really, how I look at this world is that what is the main thing that all of these market leaders have been telling us to our face for the last few years? Data is the new gold, right? And now we have this plan for an American infrastructure rejuvenation. We have the plan from the higher powers to actually put tens of trillions of dollars into data centers. Why do they want your data? It's because then they can aggregate what you're spending on. They can understand how to control you. They can understand how to govern better, right, with data systems. And I see, it's not to just BlackRock, I keep seeing it, but NVIDIA. Look what's happening with NVIDIA. That is setting the pace for the entire Wall Street sector right now. NVIDIA, GPUs, and this whole idea of an automated system is what the powers that be are moving towards. And they're not moving towards it to be some kind of humanitarian, help you out, automatically make your coffee in the morning and give you a massage, and then you get to go to your job and get a massage there, and then your job is all done by ChatGPT and you collect a paycheck at the end, right, for operating AI systems. No. That is not the plan. The plan is to consolidate the amount of people needed to make revenue, put as many people out of work as possible, expand the lower class, do away with the middle class, and push all of that wealth to the uppers. That is the consistent plan that has played out time and time again through civilization until it reaches a breaking point and collapses. Now, what I see is we have a technological angle to this new process, and I'm going to take advantage of these powers that be trying to push all of us out of work. I'm going to lean into projects that are focused on data aggregation, AI systems actually operating correctly, and that's going to be through decentralized GPU usage. There's so much to conversate here, but the American rejuvenation plan is at hand. There is a big, big need for it to come, and we are only a few months away from either not having an election or seeing the return of the orange one. And the orange one makes markets feel extremely bullish. Not to mention, the orange one makes Putin apparently a little concerned here. This is from Mario Narfal. Trump with the words, "I will end the war in Ukraine." Putin responds, "The fact that Mr. Trump, a presidential candidate, says that he is ready and wants to stop the war in Ukraine, we take that very seriously." However, I hadn't seen his ideas on how exactly he's going to do that, and that is the key question, but I have no doubts that he says it sincerely, and we support that. It's sure he can act like, yeah, we're buddies, right? But honestly, Putin does not want the orange one to come back into power and hit him the same way that Soleimani was hit. The world stood on its heels when Soleimani was taken out by Trump. And really, most of these BRICS proxies kept their head very, very low when Trump was in power. Because keep in mind, the takeover of Ukraine by Biden and the Obamas happened in 2014. By all intents and purposes, the war between Russia and Ukraine began in 2014. The encroachment into the borders of Russia began in really honestly before 2014, but the usurping and the takeover of the actual political sphere within Ukraine happened all the way back then, and Trump had the power from 2016 to 2020. Okay, so there was plenty of opportunity for Russia to act like a big badass when Trump was in office, but they didn't do it, right? Why? Because they knew warheads on foreheads are a real thing for a president that has power. Biden has no power. He's this puppet. We know we're being governed by the Obamas. There's a dead body found in Obama's backyard from his chef. No one cares. No one talks about that. He's the real guy behind the strings, pulling them, trying to keep this war machine going. And I think that the war machine stops if Putin realizes, holy shit, Trump's coming back in that damn toupee looking orange one's going to zap me out of the universe. He's going to pull back. And so I think that we're going to see a little bit of peace instituted into the world if we have the election happen. I am still weary and skeptical on if that election actually does go down, because really the Democrats are acting like they've already got everything figured out. If I was a Democratic deep state high end, I would have no way in hell let Joe Biden go up there on the debate stage and represent the Dems. As you know, if there are self-respecting Democrats out there, which I do believe that they exist, there's no way in hell that I would have allowed that to happen. Let's see what Seth Shepard's talking about. Everything seems cheap compared to 2 months ago. Glad I had my Bitcoin last year at least. I'm down quite a bit on alt buys. I can lower my overall DCA price. Yes, you absolutely can. Anyone else in your situation? I'm in your situation with some buys like which coin? Near. See, Near's a tough one because I built the small bag at like $2, but then I really leaned into it like $5 and $7. Near is that same situation. I guess Near is kind of that same situation for me. My average buy is higher than it is currently on Near, right? That's but thinking about what I just talked about with the need for a rejuvenation within the American job market. You can't be the solution for a world without a problem. And you know what we see is job losses are going nuts. Companies want aggregated data. They want these AI systems to be rolled out so that they can hire less. And we even see things like this from Kobayashi. Both May and April jobs report numbers just revised lower by a combined 111,000 jobs. This is on top of the 700,000 jobs that they had to revise 2 weeks back. Nobody remembers that. I do. That's why we watch the show, so we can stay highly informed, extremely based, and thinking above all the plebes. The May jobs report was revised from 270,000 jobs to 218,000 jobs, while the April jobs report revised from 165 to 108. That means that 10 out of the last 15 monthly jobs reports have been revised lower. 2 out of the 3, right? Not a great hit rate. On a net basis, the U.S. economy really only added 95,000 jobs this month. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate now at 4.1%. And keep in mind, of these jobs added, the U.S. government takes up about a third of those jobs added. So it's actually making quite a big pivot in sentiment for the FOMC. This is from Satoshi Flipper, talking about the likelihood of a pivot coming at September FOMC just shot up to 71.5%. Now people are like, holy shit, the economy is really not as good as we thought it was. There's a lot more job losses happening. We're going to have to pivot. No shit, Sherlock. You can't keep off of the quantitative tightening forever. You're addicted to the heroin of quantitative easing. And of course, the Federal Reserve is going to go back to it. It's the only way moving forward for the United States other than absolute calamity and wiping the slate clean. And I don't think we're there yet. Folks. So stay strong out there. Let me know if for the 2 p.m. show, I really want to dig into your guys' favorite projects to get a more focused view on the charts, what projects you're holding to see, what potential juicy entry points we could be looking for, or if those juicy entry points have just came and gone. So with that said, we're going to go join the DC, folks. I hope you guys are all staying strong, stay focused, stay very, very based, and I will see you at 2 p.m. I bid you adieu. Goodbye.